Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad to hear this Monday morning, starting out a big week here on the show and hopefully in your life and all the things you get to do. So here we go. It's going to be, I've got some guests coming on this week, some good video, and that's all kind of good stuff. So y'all stay tuned, and I appreciate your viewership. Our weather brought to us by Gulf Coast Electric. Gulf Coast Air Conditioning. Well, I had to pay my bill to Gulf Coast Electric. So high today, 75, low 66. Water temperature brought to us by Alco Electric up there in Lynn Haven. Guess what? How about 68 degrees at the end of the pier? It's funny because really last week, about the middle of last week, especially for the weekend, it started catching Spanish, just as we thought. We had a third fog last week, and the Spanish coming in. It was really, it puts a smile on my face every springtime in March when this happens, because it's, like I said, right almost at the same time, the same week, it's 68 and a third fog. The old timers sort of knew what they're talking about. Our Monday moon phase brought to us by Panama City Coca-Cola. Have a new moon tonight. We're looking at it. It's going to start waxing up, and the full moon for April, I put it down, it's going to be Sunday the 13th. It'll be the full moon of April. I'm sure it's going to be a beautiful time if we have a good view of it. Our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. Today's the 31st. We've got decent tides today. Let's pull it up here. Pretty good tides compared to the weekend, so it has some neat tides, but it's going to have a high this morning at 11:01, and it's going out to about 9:44 tonight. Our wind south-southwest at about 10 to 15. So today being the last day of March, can you believe that? Tomorrow will be April the 1st, and March has been a stormy, blowing month, but that's typical, and it's been an enjoyable month, and it's had more daylight, so that's been a big plus. Anyway, let's take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. We've got all kinds of stuff to share with you. I always get entertained. A lot of y'all ask me some fishing advice and all that. I'm not an expert, but I know a little bit about it. So I enjoy it. I've enjoyed it my whole life, and I enjoy sharing my information with you. And I've been talking about one of my favorite sayings: you don't know unless you go. You're not going to catch them sitting there on the sofa. So a lot of times I encourage people to just get out and try it. And that's why sometimes I get aggravated at social media. Somebody put on social media, please tell me where to go. How about just getting out there and giving it a try? But when my viewers ask me, this is Bill Roxby right here. Here we go. Hey, I took your advice. I went fishing today. The wind was cold. The surf was dirty. I almost went home, but I thought I'd give it a try. The pompano bite was off the charts. How about that? And see, everything's going wrong. The wind was cold, dirty surf. Look at here. That's your limit right there, pompano. How about that? He wants to add to the story. Hey, Coach, to add to the story on the pompano, I ended up keeping the first 6 that were over 14 inches. I caught 2 that were 17 and 18. Had to throw them back. I've already had my limit on the day. I probably landed at least 15 pompano. The best day I've ever had pompano fishing. Everything was caught between 8 and 10 o'clock. Very interesting, with 2 very large redfish over slot. I'm glad to listen to you. Can't catch them sitting on the couch. And you stop and think about that. That's a situation there where the weather's not good, it's churned up, and a lot of times that surf is churned up like that. I don't want to fool with it myself. Old Bill, he went in there and gave it a try, and look what happened. All the pompano, we called them some redfish. So that goes to show you, they'll bite sometimes in rough surf and wind and all, if they get hungry. But what was that window of time? 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock. I wish I'd have checked it here with game and times if I knew exactly what day, but a lot of times it's a 2-hour spurt of fish and game. So thank you, Bill, for sharing that with us. What a great story. Okay, we always talk about doing things. A lot of y'all go shelling. I guess you used to get tickled at Gail and the kids going shelling because it sort of sounded like somebody from out of this area, the word they would use. But Gail and her mother and grandmother always loved to collect shells. There's so many little art things you can do with it. I ran across this picture the other day. So this spring and this summer, when they go shelling. This is one of the cutest ones I've seen. This is, isn't that cute? All these shells are found around here, and the thing about it, some of them are broken shells. Is that not a cute idea? And different kinds and all. So she's gonna, the girls and Gail are gonna work on that this summer and come up with something like this of the 5 grandkids and put it up there. But I thought, look at the legs and everything. The whole thing is just really cute. All shells, very creative. Okay, Jason Keep. Hey Winston, see all these are our viewers. This is what makes our show. Winston, I had family in town, some who had never been in the Gulf before. We went to Shell Island and saw dolphins. The highlight of the trip was finally hitting the Spanish. We got 21 in an hour this afternoon. This got them at 3-1. Okay, the Christmas tree. Okay, this is what he said. He called them on a Clark spoon. Called 3-1 according to Christmas tree rig. So anyway, check out this picture. That's some happy. Look at them. Look at big old smiles on those kids. Okay, 21 Spanish, and that's interesting. Good job, Jason. Thank you for sharing that with us. And like I said, they started coming in last week. Love those. Here they are right here. Got them spread out, and they're good. Smoked like that. Cook them on the grill. Make great dip and all. Fresh Spanish. Okay. Sheephead. This is Davin Pasolaki. He was fishing off the jetties last week and caught some sheephead. I showed this picture earlier. He's an excellent jetty fisherman. He's expert on it, but that's nice fishing. And I want to mention about fishing off the jetties. When I first moved here many years ago, that's one of the first places I went. I didn't have a boat, didn't have money to have a boat. I built me a canoe, but I wasn't going to take the canoe out there in the past. So I just fished off the jetties, and I loved it. And it just cast out there, and the boat traffic wasn't bad, and it was just, especially early on Saturday morning, and you get up there, and then you have to just move around, but you could catch a Spanish run, and it caught some bull red and everything. It was just a lot of fun. So fishing off the jetties, all you need is go to State Park, you have a State Park pass, and pay the fee, and go fish off the jetties. And you can catch some fish, because they're going to be moving in and out. All the Spanish that go in the bay are coming right by there. And it's a little more crowded now, but if you go as early as you can go and fish, the only thing I would tell you is just be careful on the rocks. They get wet, and some of them are at an angle, and you got to be really careful. But just wear some good shoes and go with someone, and y'all sort of fish close to each other. But also fishing back on this side, on the west side toward the State Park Pier, there's some really good pompano fishing, one of the pompano holes. All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. We appreciate your viewership and all the things y'all send in to share with us, the stories, catching those fish. The great thing about it is just real people, average people like me and you going out fishing, and that's what makes us click. And another viewer now, Ben Steele, I've known Ben since he was a young man and good baseball player, just a great guy, and loves to fish and hunt. So he sent me this series of pictures. He took his father-in-law out. James Cutchins. So here we go. So he messaged this to me. Man, what a trip. Holler and I'll give you details. My father-in-law loved blue crabs like nobody's business. He wanted you to see them prepped and ready for the steamer. So we've got a series of pictures here. So here we go. I'll call you with a report after a while. It was tough. I seen tons of fish, all, talking about flounder now, all looked to be 12 to 14 inches. Only one that was for sure big enough with the new regulations. Got a mess of blue crabs though. So anyway, James Cutchins, that's his dad-in-law. He's your devoted follower. He's watched every one of your shows. Thank you, James Cutchins, his father-in-law. All right, here we go. It was a good, good picture right here. So here, sent these pictures. You can see the imprint. I don't know if it show up on his screen, but see the imprint right there? They're hard to see. See the outline? I've got a couple more you can see a little bit better. Okay, this is better. They're sort of, not in the sand. He's laid up in the grass right there, the grass and the sand. This time of year, they're not migrating. Here's a good picture of one laying in the sand, though. Don't that get you excited looking at that big old flounder, getting ready to gig them? There's a mess of them right there. And look at those crabs. Those are some healthy crabs. And that was, see, that one is a what, 17, 18 inches. And remember, the limit has gone up. It used to be 10 inches and 12 inches, now it's 14 inches. So like I said, he saw a bunch of them, which is a good sign, between 12 and 14. So that's a good sign it's working. But look at these big old healthy blue crabs. They're talking about something good to eat. But look at the length of those. That's like what, 14, 15 inches. Healthy crab. And this is the end result. Folks, don't that look good? I'd eat that for breakfast. Thank you, Ben Steele, for sharing that with us. That's really good stuff right there. Okay, let's go from flounder to Spanish mackerel. Now, on Friday's show last week, I talked about showing some, and by the way, thank all of y'all for the good comments and the heartwarming comments on show number 5,000, the messages y'all sent, and I really appreciate that. It meant a lot to me. Well, we're talking about fishing with gotcha plugs and fishing for Spanish and different ways to catch them. We're right now in the season just kicking off, and we're going to be excited the next 3 or 4 weeks of Spanish. And a lot of people try different things and all. And when I started outdoor class, one of my goals was to take kids fishing. And we tried, different things. Then we had to get a bus, and we ended up doing it was a field trip, and it became just a tradition with most outdoor ed. Fishing on the pier this time of year, because the kids, they're seniors, they're ready to get out of school, they want to do something exciting, so we'd always go to the pier. Then we'd come back to Pineapple Willis and have a big old lunch, and it was just very special. I have some video, y'all remember me showing video of it, but I also wanted them to, of course, catch fish, and I wanted them to understand how different colors and all that. We talked about it, and I'm sure a lot of them it went over the head, but it stuck with some of them. But I pulled up some of my when I was looking for old video for the show last week, I found the one, we had a lot of memorable trips, but this was one of the most memorable one we had, because we ended up catching that class on the few hours that morning, caught 169 Spanish mackerel off the pier and a couple of redfish. But it was a really special day, and we attributed that to good weather, good timing, and just good fishing. And so, but we kept the statistics. Everybody had to count, and I told them way ahead of time, you're gonna count what color you catch it on, what color gotcha plug. And I pulled it up the other day. I wanted to share this with you. I don't remember what year it was, but we got back. This is old school right here. I get on the board. Now you don't do this kind of stuff. But this is a gotcha plug, and I made hash marks. Each class I made hash marks on what color, orange, white, orange, gold, yellow, gold. So you see all the different colors, and yellow, silver, silver spoon. And some of them wasn't sure what they did. But look here, bottom line, school record, 169 Spanish mackerel. But here's right in the middle, yellow, because I have redfish there. But you see the color. So anyway, so then, here's a better angle right here. The different colors, and that orange and gold, but yellow and silver. But look at that yellow and white on the third from the bottom. It only caught one. The silver spoon did pretty good. But anyway, here's first, second, and third. This color right here, with the orange head and silver body. And then second place was this gold and a red head. And then third place, a completely different color, was the yellow, and it has a yellow tail and white tail. And then those I told my class, these on the far right, just a bunch of losers. But we caught some with all of them. We had a ball, but that one on the far end, that's silver spoon. We use different colors, silver spoon. But anyway, it just goes to show you. And the good thing about it, we were able to keep a record. Each class really got excited about it. Which class we caught, what pier they were in, we caught the most. But we had a bunch of kids fishing for those Spanish mackerel, and thankfully that tradition still continues today. They take a field trip out there, and I'd recommend, people want to go field trips. Older kids, you want to take little kids out there. What a great field trip! They're going to enjoy getting out, and they can spread out, make some cash. Of course, we have a lot of kids that the first time. In fact, the majority, I'd say 70–80% of kids, the first time they've actually ever fished off the pier. Maybe 80 or 90%, because there was a hardcore group that did, and there's a few of them didn't. But you saw the results: 169 Spanish mackerel in about 3 hours. And then, so anyway, it was really interesting. So the colors, again, the colors makes a difference in what the sun is doing and different things like that. So let's take our final break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Let's take a quick look at our fishing game time brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers in Port St. Joe's. Time 1:21 to 3:21 this morning, this evening 1:59 to 3:59. We'll say 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock. We could remember those little 2-hour blocks, and sometimes they would skip a bit and then come back. It's really fascinating. Talking about the Spanish mackerel, I closed the last segment catching Spanish mackerel. I got out last night, pulled some stuff out of my tackle box to just share some things with you on how to catch Spanish. Now, I've showed this before, but this is what you call it. Y'all see this? Isn't that cool? This is a straw rig, and the history behind it is so cool because I remember my students actually, they would go to McDonald's and actually they would rig up their own rig and actually get straws from different places, but they had McDonald's straws with different colors, and of course it was bigger, but they put different colors on it and made their own. But they, of course, they're commercial now, but this is great trolling here. You put a silver spoon at the end of it, some lead, or just however you want to do it, and rig it up different ways. But here's a package. They come in packages. Clark Spoon makes them, and they're the original. Clark Spoon was the original one that actually started this. Also, I pulled out some. This is what you call the gotcha plugs in different colors here, but they're weighted pretty heavy, and they're really good for casting. This is good for trolling, and this is good for casting. So you really, some people may troll with it, but with a treble hook on it, and just all the different colors, you can see this is really cool stuff right here. This is only touch base, and well, the spoons, silver spoons are good for all kinds of. That's what we caught the redfish on that day, was a silver spoon. But you can see how it reflects. This is a large one, how it reflects a lot in different colors like that. And then this is a weighted one. I used to surf fish with this a lot because it's weighted, and you can throw it out there and pull it in. But I love fishing with silver spoons. I'm getting excited. I want to go fishing today. And that's a heavy one. Sometimes you have that's a real heavy. The original one way back 40 years ago called Mr. Champ. I used to love to fish with it. This is real old. It's not even shiny anymore, but it's real heavy. You could cast it almost 100 yards or so. So anyway, these are the different things you can use for Spanish mackerel fishing. Like I said, it's just a lot of fun. And if you get a chance to do it, give it a try. And if you don't know much about it, go with someone who does. And the captains now are doing. The captains are really. I've seen some of their reports. They're really going two trips a day. They're going like a half a day to lunch, and they're catching a bunch of them. That group's limited out, then taking another group in the afternoon. So anyway, moving on, got a couple of announcements here from the FWC. Spiny lobster season closes April the 1st. It's going to reopen August the 6th, and they'll have a 2-day short season Wednesday and Thursday, July 30th and 31st. I don't understand that. So I'm glad they're doing it, but I just wonder why they chose 2 days, July 31st, and they're going to reopen August the 6th. That's strange. But anyway, it is what it is. So they sure have research. Let's jump on some fresh water. My dear friend Amy Wilson Kaiser, and she sums it up. I love this time of the year with longer days to have time to catch these. Amy, look at that. Isn't that pretty? Amy is a good fisher lady. I always have a big smile on her face, and she took her grandkids fishing the other day. Good job, Amy Wilson Kaiser. All right. Got this coming up. I love it every year. This is a big deal to a lot of folks. The James Mathis Memorial Brim Fishing Tournament and Fish Fry, sponsored by the Shaddai Shriners. It's going to be at Howard Creek Upper Landing, and you see Saturday, May the 24th. And I'm going to be there this year for sure with my bells on. We're going to kick off 7 a.m. the weigh-in, the fish place. Now, listen, you want some good fresh fish, and you want to spend a good afternoon just ride down there for the weigh-in, because weigh-in and fish fry is going to be the same time, about 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock. And then they're going to have a band, y'all, the Grace and Grit Band at 6:30. If you haven't spent some quality time at Howard Creek, that's a unique place to go. But the big thing about all of this is going to such a good cause, and you can call Bob, Leon, Bill, or Chuck. All these guys are active in the Shaddai Shriners and very active in Howard Creek. And bottom line, all proceeds benefit the director staff of Shadow Shriners and are not tax deductible. But anyway, it goes to a good cause, and they help a lot of young people. And just go down there, if you would, you can go down there and just have a good fish fry, some good fellowship, and watch these weigh-ins. It's very unique. Howard Creek is a unique place in the unique Florida Panhandle. It's special. All right, I've got to move on. This is, I got a kick out of this. This is coming from Carabel, Sea Quarters Marina, one of my big sponsors, real quick. Basically, they had just a really good day offshore, caught a quick limit of red grouper, and released some red snapper and gags. And then, but look at this. Look at these fish right here. Sea Quarters Marina, you see when they clean them up there? Look at all that freezer bag full of grouper. Is that not cool? Sea Quarters Marina. I just wanted to, they're special folks. I'm gonna show Jarrell. I got Jarrell, well, real quick, Jeff, let's show him real quick. Jarrell, Dennis caught this limit of pompano. He sent this to me Friday, so he called it, look at here. Is that not cool? Released a 24-inch pompano, kept it, look there. He released it and washed back on the beach, so kept it. But anyway, that's good. I got some turkey pictures to show later on. I just run out of time. But is that not some great fishing from our viewers all the way from Carabel over to Santa Rosa Beach, catching fish right here in March, right at the end of March when things start clicking. Appreciate y'all watching the show. Y'all do something good for someone else today. Have a great day and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.